Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the continuation of the Unit 7 Diversity in Living Organism, and this video is a part 5th. Okay, as we have done with the phylum Echinodermata. So today we will continue with the phylum Chordata. Phylum Chordata and its subphylum. Okay. So these subphylum of the phylum Chordata are Protochordata and Vertebrata, and we know that in Protochordata the notochord will be present at any one stage of the lifetime. Okay, and it is very rudimentary, means it is very like primitive type, and in the Vertebrata notochord will be replaced by the vertebral column in adults. Okay, so here Protochordata is also been called as Hemichordata. Okay, Protochordata is also called as Hemichordata, and they are here the animals are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, have coelom. They have coelom or cavity, and the new feature of the body design is they having notochord at some stages of their lifetime to be remembered. Okay, and next, notochord is, what is notochord? Yeah, notochord is a long rod like support structure, like how we have backbone. Okay, that these structures are means like coral strings, and that runs along the back of the animal, like our backbone. Okay, what does the notochord do? What does the notochord do in the organism? It separates the nervous tissue from the gut. Nervous tissue will be separated from the other guts, and these notochord, they are providing the place for the muscles to attach for the ease of the movement. It helps in the movement of the body, and it provides a support for the muscles to attach to the attachment of the muscles. Okay, so that body can move properly, movement will be easier. Okay, these notochord may be present or may not be present at all the stages of their lives, but throughout the entire length of the body. Means at some stages of the life, it like in first stage of life, at some part of the body it may be there in some organism, and like in like second, means in some other organism it may be present at some other stage of the lifetime. Okay, so the notochord may not be present at all the stages of their lives entire length of the body. Okay, at some part of the body and at some stages of the life, notochord may be present in Protochordata, and they are marine. Okay, let's move on to the diagram 7.20. 7.20. So this is notochord. Okay, this is Protochordata. So these Protochordata, Balanoglossus, these are the ocean dwelling, they lives in the oceans. Okay, and see how they are. This is the proboscis and collar. See this collar neck like. Okay, and they have the gills, pores also, and they have see here this is a cord, notochord, and this mid dorsal ridge means this only. And see, this is the, like these animal are very rare to see, and these animal Protochordata are always said to be the evolutionary link between the other organism and vertebrata. It is an evolutionary link between other 8 phylums and vertebrata. So these are the chordata, means it's the sub phylum, right? So this is the evolutionary, it is believed to be the evolutionary link. Okay, and there is a herdmania also. Herdmania is, see the herdmania figure, It is like it is marine and it is flat. Okay, and it is purse like. See how the structure are. It is purse like, and this is brownish in color, and these are buried in the sand in front of in the form of food. Okay, means like how the food is buried in the sand, no, that type it is buried in the sand and it look like purse. Okay, and next one is Amphioxus. Amphioxus, these are the lancelet also, they are called, it is been called as lancelet, and these are small marine animal found in the coastal water in the warmer part of the world. So let's move on to next subphylum of the phylum Chordata, that is vertebrata. It is the highest among all. So these vertebrata, they have true vertebral column and they have internal skeleton. Okay, like how we have full body structure. These internal skeleton allows completely different distribution of muscles attachment, and these muscle attachment and skeleton together help in the movement, used for the movement of the body. Okay, again they are bilaterally symmetrical, they are triploblastic and coelomic, have the body cavity. Okay, they are segmented with complex differentiation, not like other phylum, but they are segmented with highly complex differentiation of the body tissue and organs. Okay, they are segmented, remember this point, they are segmented but with the complex differentiation of body tissue and organs. You will learn in the some classes of vertebrata how they are. Okay, so the special feature of all the chordates or vertebrates are they have notochord. Okay, remember they have notochord, they have dorsal nerve cord. Okay, dorsal means whatever, means back side they will have nerve system, nerve cord will be there, and they are triploblastic, paired gill pouches will be there. Okay, for the breathing, for the respiration of the organism, for the air to enter and go out, inhalation and exhalation we can say. So they have the paired gill pouches, pair, in pair it is present. Okay, and they are coelomate, they have the body cavity. Okay, and they are grouped into 5 classes. Okay, here the first one is Pisces, second one Amphibia, third one Reptilia, fourth one Aves, and fifth one Mammalia. Okay, so one by one we will go to the important characteristic features of each classes and their examples also. So firstly we will move on to Pisces. So this is a Pisces, first class of the subphylum vertebrata from the phylum Chordata. So these Pisces are all fish. What are the fish we are finding all around? So these all are Pisces. So they are exclusively aquatic animals. They are exclusively aquatic. Okay, skin is covered with scales or plates. How the fish skin is, right? Scales will be found on all over the skin, all over the body. Okay, or plates like structure. They obtain oxygen dissolved in water through gills. Okay, how they are obtaining oxygen? Through gills. Okay, so So next point is body is streamlined. How the fish body is like streamlined, okay, in a streamlined shape, like, okay. So with muscular tail, a muscular tail will be present, okay, for the movement of the fish. They are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means what, you know, they cannot control their body temperature, because like they become sluggish in cold water, okay. They are becoming sluggish in cold water, and they cannot control, means therefore means they are cold-blooded, that's why they are becoming sluggish in cold water, okay. So just remember about the fish, they are cold-blooded, okay. Next classes also are there about the cold-blooded animals. So now next point is what? Heart have only 2 chambers. Only 2 chambers in the heart, okay. There will be only 2 chambers, remember it about it, and they are laying eggs. Some of them have skeleton made with cartilage, example shark, and some have skeleton with bone and cartilage also. So a skeleton with the bone and cartilage, example is tuna and rohu. Let's move on to the examples of the fish. Figure 7.21, they have given A and B to 2 figures. Let's see there. So now see the first example of fish, that is Synchropus splendidus or mandarin fish, okay. They are small, brightly colored, and they are dwelling in salt water aquarium, okay. We are finding these fishes in aquarium. So next example is Caulophyrine jordani, okay. Caulophyrine jordani, that is also called as angler fish, okay, angler fish or fan fish. See how the fans are here, okay. Next example is Pterois volitans, lionfish, okay. They are venomous, like they are venomous coral reef fish. They having venom, okay, and they are also called as lionfish. So next one is this one, electric ray fish, torpedo. How, see, they are totally different, okay. And these are the string ray fish. This about the electric ray fish, they are they are giving the shocks, electric shocks a little bit, and string ray fish, okay. And this one is Scoliodon dogfish, also called as shark, okay. See how they are, okay, different types of fishes. This is the figure 7.21a, and next move on to the figure 7.2b. So see here, this is our common fish, Labio rohita, that is rohu, okay. And see how, if you want to see the fish clearly, common fishes are like that: eyes, head, nostril, mouth, pectoral fin, pelvic fin, and caudal fin, okay. So this is the shape of most of the fishes. And this is a seahorse, male hippocampus, okay. And this one, see here, this one is Exocetus, flying fish. These fishes, no, these are found in rivers, and it is famous about them. They catches the insects found on the trees nearby, on the bank of the river. Trees will be there, no, from the trees they catching the insect by flying from the directly right from the river. They are flying up to the trees, and they are catching the insect and coming back. So these are flying fish. So next one is Anabas, climbing perch, okay. So these are about the Pisces. Next we will move on to second class of the phylum Chordata vertebrata subphylum, that is amphibia. So these amphibia, they lack scales, They don't have scales on the skin, but they have mucus gland on the skin. Like how in fish there are scales on the skin, right? But in amphibia they have mucus gland on the skin. Means they are slimy. When we are touching it, like salivary saliva like thing will be found on the, over the skin. Okay, so their heart is three chambered, unlike fishes. In fishes we are having like only two chambered heart. No, here three chambered heart. Okay, and here the respiration is through either gills or lungs. In fishes it was only gills, right? So here now gills or lungs, little bit advanced. Okay, they lay eggs, and again they are cold blooded. They cannot control their body temperature. They are found in both water and land. That's why they are called as amphibians. Amphi means living both on water and land. At certain stages of their lifetime, some of the time they are living on the land, some of the time they are living in water. Okay, let's move to the figure 7.22. See here. So this is the salamander. Okay, salamander, they are lizard like but having slender body, and their legs are at the right angle from the body. Okay, unlike lizard. So these are the this Rana tigris. Next one, that is common frog. Okay, this is the largest frogs found in India, and they are greenish or grayish in color. And these are the toads. Toads are like they are having dry leathery skin and short legs when compared to the frog. Okay, and large bump. Okay, and this one is hyla or tree frog. These are found in the tropical lowlands in rainforest canopies, and they are mostly green in color. Okay, so these are the examples of amphibia. Let's move on to the next class, that is reptilia. Okay, reptilia. So just have a look. They are again cold blooded. So this is the third class of the vertebrata, cold blooded animal. Remember, Pisces, amphibia and reptilia, all are cold blooded. They cannot control their body temperature. Next one is characteristic about them is they have scales on the skin. Amphibia were not having scales, but Pisces were having scales. Again reptilia have scales, but these scales are completely different from what the Pisces have on their skin. Okay, so their respiration is through lungs. No gills are found here, only lungs. Again a little bit advanced. Most of them have three chambered heart, but crocodiles are having four chambered heart. Okay, so it is a link. First Pisces were having two chambered heart, the amphibians three chambered, reptilia have three chambered heart, but the crocodile is the advanced among all the reptilia, so they have four chambered heart, and they lay the eggs with tough covering. Hard shell will be there. Okay, hard shell eggs they are laying, but they are not laying the eggs in the water unlike amphibians. They are laying the eggs in the mud near the bank of the river, like that. So let's move on to the examples. 7.23. 7.23. So here see, this is the first example. So diagram 7.23, reptilia. First example is what? Turtle. Okay, turtle are they are having spatial bony or cartilaginous sheet, means developed from their rib cage. Okay, they are having spatial bony or cartilaginous shield all over their back, and that is developed from their rib cage, and which acts as a protecting shield for their whole body. When they are seeing any danger, what they are doing, this head, legs and all, they are just taking it inside, and they look like a shell. Okay, they are very slow in walk. And so next one is chameleon. They are highly specialized and they have the ability to change the color according to the environment. Okay. And these are the this is the king cobra, world largest venomous snake, found in forests from India to Southeast Asia. All over the Southeast Asia to India it is found, and world largest venomous snake it is. Next one is flying lizard, Draco. Okay, these are also called as gliding lizard or flying dragons. Okay, they fly, they perch like. Okay, and this is the house lizard. Okay, Hemidactylus gecko also we called it. It is a from the family gecko. All through the tropical region we are finding these type of lizards. Okay, let's move on to the next class, that is aves. So this is aves. Aves means it is the fourth class of the subphylum Vertebrata from the phylum Chordata. So here they are warm blooded, special quality. Until now the three last previous classes were having cold blood. Now these birds are aves, are the birds. Okay, they are warm blooded, means they can change their body temperature according to the need of the environment or according to the need of the weather and according to the need of the body. Have four chambered heart. Okay, so they are specialized, they are advanced compared to the other classes. They lay eggs. So laying eggs means oviparous. Okay, and body is covered with feathers. We know all the birds how they are. So two forelimbs are modified for the flight. Okay, that is called as wings, and their bones are hollow. Okay, pneumatic bones, pneumatic bones they have, means their bones are air filled bone, because it is which help them to fly. Okay, and they respire or breathe through lungs, and all birds are aves. Let's move on to the diagram 7.24. Okay, see here examples of aves. So first one is what they have given here, white stork, that is Ciconia. Okay, they are the large bird, long red legs will be there. Okay, and they are found in mostly agricultural field and open wetlands lands. Okay, next one is ostrich. These ostrich are flightless birds, and they are large birds found in the Africa, in the large areas of the Africa. Okay, and their scientific name is Struthio camillus. Okay, so next one is this one, male tufted duck. This male tufted duck, also their scientific name is Aethia fuligula. Okay, Aethia fuligula. So these are the like they having small, they are small diving duck. They are small diving ducks, and they are found in the northern Eurasia, Asia, between Europe and Asia, northern side of the Eurasia they are found. Okay, see how they are tufted, means they are like something different ducks. Okay, and this one is pigeons. You are very familiar with these three, sparrow, pigeon and crow, and these pigeons they belong to the family Columbidae. Okay, and these sparrows are belonging to the family Passeridae, and these crows are belonging to the family Corvus. Okay, these are very common, you might have seen here and there everywhere. So let's move on to the last and highest class of the phylum Vertebrata, that is Mammalia. Okay, so in Mammalia the special features are, what are the special features? They are warm blooded like birds, means we can control our body temperature. So in mammalia we are also included as a human. Okay, so just relate these features to yourself also. So they're having 4-chambered heart as we have. Okay, how our heart is normally 2 chambers down and 2 chambers here up, right? Okay, so they are 4-chambered heart, and they have mammary glands for the production of milk to nourish their young ones. Means after giving birth to the young ones, they nourish their young ones with the milk produced from the mammary gland. Okay, these are the special feature are the mammalia. Okay, as their name only shows, mammals, mammalia. So next characteristic is what? Skin has hair. Sweat and oil glands also present all over the skin, and skin is covered with hair. Some part of the skin have more hair, some part of the skin have less hair. Okay, and most of them mammals are viviparous, produce live young ones, means giving birth to child or giving birth to same kind, that is also called as viviparous. Laying eggs means what? Oviparous, right? Laying eggs, oviparous, and giving birth to young ones, that is called as viviparous. Okay, so most of them produce the live young ones, and few of them lay eggs also. Okay, like examples platypus and echidna, and few like kangaroos give birth to poorly developed young ones. So these kangaroos, they have to keep their babies under the bag, whatever the bag will be there, no, near their like how the kangaroos are. Just have a look over the figure. Kangaroo, how they are, means they are having a pouch like thing, no, below their stomach, on the near the stomach, and in this pouch they are keeping their baby for long time because they are poorly developed. Okay, so let's move to the diagram 7.25. so first example is whale. Okay, you know, these are the blue whales, largest animal of the world, and these are the mammals. Okay, their skin is covered with hair like that. Okay, and so these are the different mammals. See, totally different types of mammals. Okay, rats you might have in your home, around your home, anywhere. Cats, somebody loves it, somebody don't love it. Okay, so these are the examples. And we human, so totally different. See, we are standing erect, upright, and how they are walking. Okay, but have 4 limbs. Okay, even they have. Okay, and these are the bats. Here the 4 limb means their limbs are connected to each other so that they can fly. They are also mammals. Bat, rat, human, cat, whale, and many others examples are also there, interesting examples. So this is up to all your phylum, and all your classification is finished up here. So just have a look over your table once if you want. Okay, so we know that kingdom Animalia, it is divided into Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes. Okay, Nematoda, Aschelminthes, then Annelida, Mollusca, Arthropoda, and Chordata, Echinodermata and Chordata. These Chordata are again divided into subphylum, Protochordata and Vertebrata, and these Vertebrata classes are Pisces, Amphibians, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. So here they have given some features also again. Pisces, exoskeleton of the scale, and exoskeleton of scale will be there. Endoskeleton of bone will be there, or cartilage, and breathing through gills. Okay, and here amphibia, gills in the larva and lungs in most of the adult, and they having slimy skin. They don't have an exoskeleton of scales. Okay, and here this reptilia, they have the exoskeleton of scale. Exoskeleton means outer body layer. Okay, and endoskeleton means exoskeleton means outer layer, outer skeleton, and endoskeleton means inner layer. Somebody asked me in about the last video, what is endoderm? So what is endoderm, you know? So just see here, endoderm mesoderm or exoderm. Derm means what? Skin. Derm means skin. Skin layer. This skin layer means exoderm means outermost. Okay. Meso means middle one. Okay. And endo means inner one. Okay. So endo words come means innermost, meso middle, and exo means outer. Whether it is derm, whether it is skeleton or anything. Okay. So here exoskeleton means outer skeleton and endoskeleton means inner skeleton. Okay. So here in reptilia they lay eggs and outside the water, but they lay eggs inside the water. See the differences at once. Okay. So these aves, they are also having exoskeleton of feather. They lay eggs outside the water, but and the flight is possible in that. They fly. Okay. And these mammalia, they have the exoskeleton of hair. How the monkeys are full of hair, lions, tigers and all, correct? So external ears will be there. Ears are visible in mammals. Remember this feature also. And most of them give birth to young ones. Okay. And some of them give birth to this also. Some of them lay eggs also. That is exclusive examples is echidna and platypus. Okay. So these are the features, and today I am concluding my video here. So last part of this chapter is nomenclature. So lastly I'll continue with that, and inshallah we will be moving on to that. So hope till now, till the 5th video, you have understood each and everything properly. To my extent, I have alhamdulillah explained well. So maybe just tell me in comment section whether you liked my video or not. Jazakallah khair for watching. Allah Hafiz. We'll meet once again, inshallah.